My name is Jeff Lobb. Welcome to today's session. We're going to be live. I'm joined by special guest and friend Mark Choey. He's the co-founder of Highnote, also a practicing agent, also been a top producer. And I'm going to let Mark say hello. Um,
Hey, I'm a real estate agent and a software guy, entrepreneur, and I do both. So we're going to
yeah,
talk about today. Yeah, really excited because AI is changing all of our lives, every single thing, every single part of it. And so I think really important to show you how we use it, what our favorite tools are, and what's the best use cases. And there's so many tools, and it's really hard to keep on top of. I mean, even if you play with it every day, it's out of control.
yeah. So hopefully what we'll do is we'll narrow it down, kind of show you the different types of tools that are, and more so, not just the tools, like how is it being used, right? So how does it apply? For those that know me, I'm very tactical. How do we use something and does it make sense for your business? So I think we'll run today as like, we're going to try and share with you 10 different tools or strategies. Um, and I think we'll kind of rotate between Mark and I. He's got five, I've got five different applications. From very hands-on or not. So we'll have the recording done for those that want to watch this again. Mark, do you want to kick us off for the very first one? Um, and then feel free to share your screen. You should have permissions to do that.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm sure a lot of you pay for something, either chat or Claude or whatever it may be. Um, and I want to show a really cool use case that really blew me away. Now, a lot of people use the most obvious case of using ChatGPT would be to write your listing marketing.
Sure.
And I think that's one of the first use cases. Now, one day I got really lazy and I uploaded images of the property. And because I didn't even want to describe the home. And so I uploaded images just to see what it would do. And I don't know if a lot of people do this, but um, what it did was it started writing me something, and it 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 kind of figured out that there was a primary suite with direct access to outdoor space. That's what it wrote in its bullet. Um, and I was a little shocked by this because I was like, there was nothing in the images or anything anywhere did I say that there was a primary suite with direct access to outdoor space. So I thought ChatGPT was hallucinating or maybe looked it up online, what have you. But AI is getting so good. What it did was it actually reasoned that there was a bedroom outside, a primary bedroom outside of the deck. And so this is the image I uploaded. And what it told me was I said, where did you get these specifics? I didn't upload an image of the primary bedroom. So how did you know it connects to the outdoor space? And then it said, here's how I inferred it. But to be clear, it was an educated guess, not verified fact. In the rooftop photos you uploaded, there's a bed that's visible through the large sliding glass doors leading directly onto the private deck. And it said the bed is larger and it appears to be a queen or king size bed. And the room looks more spacious than a typical secondary bedroom or office space. And in most two bedroom loft layouts of this size, the bedroom with direct outdoor access is typically the primary suite, both ability and resale value. So while I couldn't know with certainty, and it apologized to me, which was, of course, is very polite, reason that the room directly opening to the private deck was most likely the primary. And my jaw sort of dropped at that moment. I said, "Are you kidding me? You looked through the," and I went to go look at the images, and I saw myself, there's a queen size bed right in here, and that's how it figured it out.
Hmm.
AI is getting too good. I mean, who's shocked by this? I was personally shocked by this sort of level of reasoning that AI can do. So that was my first thing. And then I went down the rabbit hole of trying to virtually stage and change the images, which I can go into next. But I'll give you we'll take turns. What do you think of
Sure.
that,
And
James?
also, while you're here, this is a good point too, because for those that know or have not heard, obviously, that Zillow and these companies are integrating into ChatGPT, the descriptions now, how we write descriptions or how we ask AI to write descriptions needs to be even different based on what you just said, Mark. We need to start writing AI descriptions based on how consumers will search in AI. So there might be a consumer searching for a bedroom that has access to the outdoor space versus just saying 3 beds, 2 baths.
That's right. And there's all these search engines that are coming up now, or real
Right.
estate search portals that where they're just conversational.
That's right.
Yeah.
So as we're asking it to describe things, we're going to need to start describing things more in effect of how people will search AI, which is really important with your photo. So it's a good tie-in for that.
Yeah.
Um, if you want to unshare, I'll just share mine. We'll in and out. We'll go. I'm going to talk about. Um, I think my first one is I'm going to share a platform called. Um, Let me see if I can make this bigger. Realestatecontent.ai. These are the five I'm going to talk about. Realestatecontent.ai. And for me, I'm a big, for those that know me on the social, for the social scene, I'm a big anti automatic posting social media stuff. I am very about organic, taking your own photos, taking your own stuff. But when I saw realestatecontent.ai, what it does though, it's a spinoff of not replacing what I do on social media, but adding things that I may not have time to do more. So the premise is it ties in to your social media channels, and I'll show you my dashboard in a second. I've interconnected them with Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. And what it will do is it'll allow you to use AI to create unique content for specific topics or things in the community or tips and ideas. Use it, create the post, create the graphics, all unique to yourself, and then have it posted for you on your behalf. So it's not like auto posting generic content. Its automation is custom AI content specifically, and it'll do it in the social formats. It will also do it in the blog posting formats, which is also very important. And I'll tell you why in a second. Um, and
So
I do,
you define your brand voice, right? Basically. And
yes.
but how do you do that? Does it analyze your stuff and then generate it for you, or do you kind of describe it?
You got to give it a description. It starts to learn. So basically, I'm just going to look at my dashboard for 2 seconds, and I've already done some setups for. So I wanted to. So if I wanted to set my brand up, I put all my branding stuff in my persona and my personalization, and my integrations are with all of my social media platforms. So I interconnected Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn. But when I go to the content calendar, I can tell it, do I want to generate something specific for a location, for an area? So I said, every Monday, I want to post about why do people love living in Sparta, New Jersey? So let's say I
Mhm.
wanted to make it about that, or I can make it about give me a homeowner tip about how to make my home more valuable, or whatever it might be. It'll create the content and then drop it into your slots. Like, for example, I had these already created for Monday the 8th,
Mm,
and it'll create the photo, the colors, the
nice.
all of the AI content. It'll convert it to a video for you, um, and you can have it scheduled for a certain time or date. Of
Nice.
course, they're still editable, um,
Yeah.
and it doesn't replace my organic traffic. It's just going to simply be done for me with the prompt that I give it.
Right.
The other cool thing is if you want to, let's say you got a new listing coming up. And let's see, I grab a new listing and I picked a fun one here. You can just grab the URL of a listing and I can go and say, I want to create a property listing post, drop in the URL for it, tell it when I want it. I don't want to post it for, I'm going to make up a date later because, and what platforms do I want it on? Just say I want it all. And I'll have it create a post where it's going to pull all the MLS data, all the public data. It may take 20 or 30 seconds for it to do it, But what it'll do is it'll create a just listed post. It'll create the template. It'll create one for Instagram, kind of done for you.
Yeah.
I still might do my own I'm at the house post, but this will create something where it's unique to yourself. So I like the concept of it from filling in the gaps. So here it just already created um, all of the listing description. It pulled in the price, pulled in everything. And then I could pick from the different templates it's created for me for my social media posts.
Nice.
So I could pick one, create the post. I could turn it into a video as well if I'd like by hitting video post, and I can only show so much here. May take, it says a minute or two to create, but then I could have it posted on Monday and Thursday of next week or whatever I wanted to.
Hmm.
So it's just taking AI and taking what used to be cookie cutter stuff and turning it now into unique content to yourself. And of course, here I could turn it into a video. I could add music to it, the whole thing kind of done for you.
Nice.
So the other important thing I like about it, and this is going to be really important when it comes to AI search. AI search is very important. Where if I want to start creating unique blog content that names me as the specialist, I can have it create a blog post and have it create a blog post that I could put on my website, but naming me as the local expert. I could have it written in my voice, where I could put it on my own website and have it found in AI search. So I get a lot of cool options, and of course, suggested topics. It can create trending posts. It can give me suggested ideas, et cetera, et cetera. So it was meant to take what used to be an automation that goes very static and now allowing AI to make it extremely unique for me in the real estate blogging space and photos.
What does it cost?
I want to say it's around, I think it was around 900 to 1,000 a year, but I think I always ask for a coupon code. I think with this, it's 699 or 79 a year. I think you save like 300
Nice.
um,
Nice, nice, nice.
with the QR code here or whatever it is. But I like it to not replace what you're doing in social, but to add to what you're doing in social.
Yeah.
Push out more content more universally across the platforms.
Cool.
So that's mine. I'll unshare. Give me a sec. Or was I sharing? I'll stop sharing. Yeah, I'm stopping sharing. There we go. Okay,
Yeah.
you're up.
All right. So obviously, just dovetailing into the last topic, virtual staging is obviously an easy one. There's a lot of them, but I did this straight in chat, and what I did was I just said, "Hey, I want to make this an evening shot." And so, what it did, and I wanted to add people to it enjoying wine on the furniture and make it right before sunset. And look at that version that it did. I mean, pretty nice. It added some other things in the background, I get it, but pretty impressive that it could do this. Now, the other part that I said was um, you know, make it nighttime. And it got kind of too dark, right? So then I said, add more lights around around the home, and then it added more windows and added more lights in the other buildings next door. So it was really cool. And I said, add a fire pit and heat lamps. It did that, and this is all free, right? So it's really a great way. You don't need to buy a separate virtual staging app or anything like that. Um, that was a fast one, so I'm going to continue and do this one too.
Uh,
Nano Banana. Some of you may have heard of this, but it's from Google. And what is great about Nano Banana is that it maintains the context of the characters. So in other words, what am I talking about? Well, so this was an image of a penthouse unit that I had in Pack Heights for lease. It was kind of bare. This is what it looked like.
mhm.
And I said, you know what? I need some furniture in there. So it added it in here. I didn't like the fact that it was in this hallway here. It's fine. I'm just showing you what it does. And then I said, well, let's just play around and add a picture of me, right, in it. So I was a little too literal, and I said, add a picture of me, take this picture of me and put it inside the unit. So what it did was it took the picture and put it on the wall.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And I said, no, 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 that's not what I mean. Let me rephrase that. I said, take a picture of me, cut me out, and make me jumping inside the unit. And so it did that, right? But that looks like just someone cropped it out
Yep.
and put it in. But then I said, no, make me, all right, let's do this. Make me sitting in different positions around the room. So what it does is it makes a model of you and it reimagines you in different positions. So
Wow. That's pretty
it
cool.
made, yeah, so it made me sitting around in different positions. I never took this picture of me sitting like this.
Right.
So that's what Nano Banana is good at. Is maintaining context of the characters. Like sometimes you try to do something, it'll generate someone that doesn't look like you at all,
Right.
right? Um, and then Sora can do this as well. And I tried this. OpenAI has one. If you have chat, you have Sora built in.
Yep.
And so I said, take this image of me and make it look like I'm standing in front of a crowd of real estate agents speaking to them. So it did that. It came out pretty close, but it made me look like my dad. Right? It made me look like my dad, a little older than I wanted. It's okay. And then I also tried, Nano Banana as well. And I said, take a picture of me and put me on the balcony of this unit. Right. And he did that. Right. But I said,
Nice.
make me looking out over the balcony. And it did that here.
Yep.
And I said, well, turn me around and make me look like I'm looking at it. So it turned me and made me look like I'm looking out over the balcony. So that's what Nano Banana is really, really good at,
Yep.
is
Now,
maintaining the context of the image. It made me fatter than I wanted. You see here, it gave me a gut, and I didn't really like that either. So I'm gonna start yelling at Nano Banana a little bit
now,
more.
so how do you get to Nano Banana? Is that actually
At Google AI Studio. So if you just
Google
go to
AI Studio?
Google, yeah, AI Studio.
Yep.
And it's right in there in the first panel, Nano
Okay.
Banana.
Gotcha. Nano Banana.
And you
Okay.
should have this for free, right? It's for free. So,
Right.
all right, I'm gonna swap
That's
and
cool.
get
And
it over to you.
for those that are listening, obviously, we're going to look for like, what do you find is some of the most useful ones? Can you apply it to your business? What are your favorite tips? I'm going to shift gears and kind of go outside the parameters and start to go to what we call a wearable AI. Wearable AI is kind of up and coming. It is now leveraging all of our challenges. I don't know about you, but I don't remember what I said or did yesterday some days. And a lot of agents are using this on like listing presentations, or I'm going into a meeting. There's a couple different wearables. When I say wearable, I'll get more specific. So the one that I use is called Plaud.ai. Let's hit admit. So this is Plaud. This is the size of it. It's a little thin, like feels like a little thin piece of nothing. You could buy it with a little case that you slide it into, and it just sticks to the back of your phone as a magnet. Oop, I just unstuck it. Hang on. Right? So it's just kind of there like an extension of a battery. There's only one button, and basically it just records. And what it does is it syncs to the app. And if any of you have been on like Zoom and you see how Zoom converts your AI, your notes into AI meetings, creates a summary, action items. It says, Mark, you said you were going to do this. Jeff, you said you were going to do that. What it does is you sync it to the app, and the app turns it into a summary, note taking, action items, and gives you direction of what we said we're going to do. So a lot of use cases, especially those that are on listing appointments. I just had a guy the other day in Florida I was in saying, "Oh my God, I'm on listing presentations and I forget half the crap I was supposed to write down. And when I get to my notes, I have all the details of the questions I asked the woman, what she told me if it was an oil tank or this or that. And it's a productive use of time and not having to write and scribble notes." The other part of Plaud, besides this one, this one has the ability to also record a phone conversation. Now, people are going to say, "Is this legal?" And every state's got different legalities. I'm recording for notes purposes, of course. But I always try and get asked that question about is it legal or not. I'm just recording so I have notes of the conversation, not for any legal matters. But of course, if there is some law in your state that you can't do that. The
Yeah,
other,
California, you can't do that.
California, now, could you record with permission?
Yeah, but then you have to remember to ask every single time.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, people
So,
used to walk around with and they're still starting their Ray-Bans now,
yeah.
but
Yep.
the Google AI glass, and it just kind of weirded people out because it's
Yeah.
like, you're recording me, turn it off.
It does get weird. Now, no one knew this though, but think about this, and I hate to say it, but if I took this device out of here, it's gone. In fairness, for the last 10 years, I could have just had my iPhone voice recorder on in my pocket. No one would have known anyway I was recording, but it wasn't syncing to an AI platform that takes notes.
Yeah.
The other wearable that Plaud makes, as you see the smaller one, is this little tiny thing. It's a little kind of, and it clips onto a cool clip, and I just stick it there and it hangs out there. And one, there's not even a button. You just push the middle of it and it vibrates. So it's either on or it's off. But just to give you some perspective, I think I have my Plaud app up. So you can, these are the recordings and stuff that I've converted. And it will give you the meeting that we had. It gives you, our notes that from the meeting itself. It gives me the summary, the transcript. Let me see, one that I've converted at a high level. You can convert them at different levels. Yeah. So this one is the transcript of the whole meeting, like everything word for word, the summary of it. So it gives us the summary by detail. But I like the to-do list, like tasks for Jeff. Jeff, I said I was going to set up a lunch with the brokers. I was going to do a quick session with Daryl. I said I was going to do this. Like to me, that's how I function in very short bullet points. So it helps me function that way and what we said we were going to do. And what's nice is I could get done, like say with this conversation, be like, Mark, let me send you the notes of our meeting. We'll both have notes. So when we come back and meet again, Mark, we'll both have a checklist of things we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it kind of keeps us both on the same page of our meeting without me having to sit here and write on my iPad all the notes I was trying to take.
Yeah. Bruce had a good thanks for sending this in. He says once you record the listing presentation, you can post to chat and ask it to evaluate your conversation and make recommendations for improvement.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's
Yeah, I didn't look at chat yet, but that's a great one.
yeah.
Um, yeah, if you could have it record self-evaluate yourself, ask it to give advice. What would you do differently? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Good, Bruce. Good one. Thanks for
Cool.
sharing. All right, so
And
coming down.
does how many people use uh Comet or ChatGPT's Atlas, the AI chat browser?
That's a good one. And if you don't know, AI has a browser called Atlas that needs to download. It's almost like having Chrome, right, or Safari. It's now Atlas. Anybody using
So
Atlas?
yeah, if you guys use chat browser, but what I love about it is I use Comet personally just because Comet's provided by Perplexity. But we're in Comet right now, and so I could now bring up uh, their LLM to the right? And I could ask anything about the screen on the left. And I could make it do things like, oh, search my email and tell me what I should read. Go into this document and tell me what are the key points in this rental agreement. Or go into these list of files and find me XYZ. Whatever it may be, you can have, let's try it actually.
All right. Yeah, so and let me
But
clarify. So I want to follow you a second. So I am opening a browser. This is what Comet.
comment, yep.
I open
So
Comet, and
I'm
then the
in, so
left-hand
let's
side, I
say,
can have emails or anything open.
yeah, so like right here, like remember when I asked you how much real estate content.ai is?
Yes.
So instead of, um, asking that question, you could just literally, hey, how much is real estate content.ai,
Yep.
right? So how much is real estate content.ai?
Yep.
And then it will, obviously it will search here, and you could do this in chat too, but I don't have to switch a screen.
Right. It's in the browser.
It's in the browser right here. So
Yeah.
really yearly membership $8.99, and then I could just say All right, there's summarize what it says here. 14-day trial, etc. So it's gonna look over here and tell me 14-day double money back guarantee. Do you see that?
Hmm.
Membership options, it gives me all these things. And then you can probably take the next step and say, okay, sign me up, start filling in the form, right? So now it turns blue, which means it's taking control of my browser
Yep.
and it's gonna start filling it in, right? And I've never tried this before, so I'm wondering, oh, so can you provide me your first name? So, you know,
Oh, okay.
but usually, you could probably have this kind of content saved and then you could just move forward with
Pull it
stuff.
in.
But yeah. But
Can question is, can Atlas do this too? Just came up. Tim asked.
yeah,
I think so. I think Atlas can do the same thing.
sure. And
Um,
then, ChatGPT, what I find is, I'm sorry, OpenAI's products, they're a little more restrictive because they don't want to get in trouble. And so doing things like controlling, like reading files or editing things, editing files that are in your drive, going in and logging into Instagram for you or something like that is a little more, there's more steps. There's other apps that are a little more liberal in what it will do for you. And we'll talk more about that later. My favorite one is coming up soon. But anyway, AI browsers. So
yeah. And for those that have not downloaded them, there it's a download. Again, it's a browser, just like you have Chrome or Safari or whatever you use. Atlas is owned by the ChatGPT, OpenAI, and you were using
Comet,
Comet, which is by Perplexity.
Complexity, yeah.
Yep. And
And
was it free? It was
it's
free, right?
yeah, and then I don't know. They keep changing their thing. I think it's free, but there's limits if you don't have a paid plan. But there's an invite that we'll share with you at the end. I'm not sure what the invite gets you other than because it keeps changing because they have promotions and stuff like that. So, but we're sharing with all these resources with you guys at the end as well. Um, but yes, I've moved to Comet and I use it all the time because it actually uses the same code that Chrome uses. Most people are Chrome users. It's the same code because it's
Yep.
all open source. So, there's very little learning curve. If anything, passwords all get imported, plugins all get imported. So it was very, 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 very easy.
Gotcha. Cool. All right, let me bring up the next screen real quick. Next for me is Speculo. So AI has evolved a lot in starting to try and take on that virtual assistant role, meaning making those outbound text messages, trying to convert more leads, trying to create conversations with your clients. So it is now kind of becoming that AI voice and automation to help you create better follow-ups, generate or re-engage cold leads into warm, try and convert to appointments, and it's leveraging both audio and text. So this is one of those things like if you have that database of, let's say, leads that come in from Zillow, Realtor.com, or you have a bunch of dead leads that are sitting there for years. This is the type of AI automation that can text, email, use fear of missing out strategy to try and draw engagement in. And while you're out on listing appointments doing that type of stuff, it is trying to create conversions for you and appointments as if you hired a full-time ISA. So it's to me the evolution of where I think a lot of value comes in for teams and or people that are handling a lot of leads that can't quite keep up, not only with the follow-up, but converting the stuff that's sitting 12 months, 14 months. We just did a couple studies on lead conversion. The average lead conversion from an online portal is sometimes anywhere between 18 and 24 touch points over the period of a year or longer. And most real estate agents, in fairness, don't have the discipline to do it. You need to have a system to do it, whether it be Follow Up Boss or some automation. And we're finding clients, and we have had this year, and this was interesting, Mark, you'll enjoy this, that went back. They had a database deep of 5 years of old Realtor.com leads, never converted. converted two this year that were 4 years old.
Wow.
So 4-year-old leads sitting in a database converted by a simple reapproach with consistency and simple messaging. And it was another, I don't know, 36, 40 grand into their pipeline. So we're watching AI not only get better at voice, but getting better in conversations and automations to do the work of basically another person while you're still doing your other stuff and a little bit more manageable. So you're going to see a lot of evolution of companies like this getting plugged in to solve the biggest problem real estate agents have, which is lead conversion, right? Instead of being at 1%, I want to be at like 5 and 6% of conversion. So
Nice.
it's like having a teammate on your side doing it for you.
Nice.
So kind of cool. So start looking for those AI type integrations.
Cool. All right, my turn. So I'm gonna continue on with this Comet browser, ChatGPT browser thing, and then I'm gonna
Yep.
skip, but I forgot to mention this one. So this was really great. I got an email, and this email was about a home that's for sale for $10 million in Pacific Heights, 3,800 square feet. Now, I'm not a pro in Pacific Heights, right? And sure, I could do research and figure it out, but I was, busy. So I literally just prompted onto the side, right? I said, "Hey, um, is this home fairly priced?" That's what I said.
Yep.
Then it came back to me and said, "Yeah, this property is listed for 10 million based on the email details, Pack Heights. These are the specs, and price per foot is 2,600, quite high, but not unheard of for top tier Pacific Heights properties with views and high-end architecture." And then it gave me comps. This home trades for about 3,000 a foot. This home traded for 3,500. This home for 2,000 to 24. But it gave me a summary. It said it's not unusual if it had views and renovated or modernly in a modern way. So I didn't have to go log into the MLS. I didn't have to go anywhere, right? And I didn't have to ask my colleagues. I just asked my buddy Chat right in the window, "Hey, is this home fairly priced?" And it gave me a quick rundown. So think about how
Yep.
much time that saves, right? That's incredible time savings. All
Hold up
right.
one sec. Go back one sec. Tim's got a question while you're there.
Yeah.
Which platform are you prompting on the side? Was that was
ChatGPT's Atlas.
that? Oh, that was Atlas.
That was Atlas, but you could
Okay.
do it with any of these AI browsers. And again, I use Comet, Perplexity.
Yep.
But the point is that that's a use case of how having the chat window. Now, you could just launch chat, copy all this and paste it, but it's a hell of a time saver, right?
Sure.
To not have
I'd
to
be
do
in the
that.
browser.
Yeah. All right, so let me see. What else can we talk about? I'm going to talk about Highnote real quick, and I'm going to give you a demonstration. So Highnote is our sales presentation tool made for real estate, and it's based on a lot of the ways we sell real estate, which is having a great presentation wins deals. And you could do everything you want, marketing, lead nurturing, but once you get the lead, you need to present and close that deal. So for us, our method and methodology is you need a great presentation. Why? Because you're up against other agents, right? Who are equally strong. So how do you get ahead and how do you look ahead? So doing it with a great digital presentation. Now, we've added some AI features in here and we're adding more and we've started adding a ton more. So now we have this AI asset builder. And what you could do is you could build assets. Now, the first three we're starting with are individual, team, and company. So I'm going to choose individual and I'm going to choose Jeff Lobb, right? I'm going to say Jeff Lobb, right? And then you give it some context. So you give it, let's say, a link to the site. I'm going to give this link to your site. All right, Jeff.
Yep.
And so I'm going to paste that in. You could upload files, whatever it may be. And so what it'll do is it'll take that information and create a slide for you for Jeff Lobb. So here it says, "I'm Jeff Lobb, the founder and CEO of SparkTank Media." And there you go. Right in 3 seconds, it created this great slide for you. So now you can do it for your team, you can do it for your brokerage. really streamlining the building of these presentations so you don't have to do a lot of the work. So, and we're having many more use cases built into this as we speak. So stay tuned for that.
Well, and also, let's face it, I mean, we use Highnote for our business as well for marketing all of our services. But in reality, in today's listing presentation world, like even if you, before you go on a listing presentation, if you're not showing them samples of your video marketing, your social, all this stuff, and you can't deliver that by email. Email was not the best delivery for any digital platform. It's a bunch of send it by email. It's an attachment, and a link, and an attachment. It's horrifying.
Yeah,
So how do you send beautiful digital content? Is you got to use a digital delivery system. And obviously that's what you guys have built. And now that AI is built into it, it's more kind of done for you or getting done for you,
exactly.
which is pretty cool.
Exactly. Cool.
All right, I'm going to switch up to video. And there's a bunch of these options, but I'm just going to go with our favorite that we like to use. To me, video, the last thing I want is real estate agents editing video. I mean, I know CapCut's fun to use. I know some of the apps are fun to use, but at the end of the day, if I have a 5 or 10 minute or even 15-minute video, or even I could take the video of this webinar when we're done or this session. Every time we have long form video, we know there's huge value in short form video from that. So I don't want to edit clips. So we use Opus Clip. Opus.pro is the app or the software system we use. And it allows us to not only upload a video, any video, it will use AI to create recommended shorts. Like we could tell it, do we prefer 60 seconds or 90 seconds? And it edits through the video and finds, let's say out of a 5-minute video, it'll give me 3 or 4 short clips with like a beginning and an end, like saying something and having an ending to it. It'll put the captions on top. It'll allow me to do some simple editing options, like if I want to make it 3 seconds longer or 2 seconds earlier. And now I could take a long form video and have it for shorts that I could apply to Instagram, YouTube Shorts, stories, whatever I want to use them for. And it's leveraging, this is a leveraging of the ChatGPT AI's open AI platform that they built and integrated it with. So saves a lot of time, gives you a lot more content out of one piece of content. And I found we've uploaded webinars and even videos that we've done up to 60 minutes in length. And it's carved out 5 or 6 or 8 different clips that we can use to link back on social platforms.
In your experience, how much more post-production editing do you have to do after using Opus?
Not a ton at all. It usually the only thing we will do is we'll like if I don't want the captions in the middle, I want it at the top or the bottom. We just kind of I didn't like it there, just tell it to go down the
But it was
bottom.
able to cut it and edit it at the right spots.
Yes. So there's the only thing I will edit on that is sometimes I want it to be like 3 seconds longer because I was finishing. I wanted to hear one more sentence of what I had to say,
Yeah.
or like it's pretty close.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of moving like, you know, 2 sentences over to the left or to the right.
Yeah.
It hasn't horrifically like caught some weirdness in the middle for us yet. It does a pretty good job of listen. I think it's listening for breaks and pauses too as it's doing it.
Yeah.
So not a ton of editing, which I like. And I just like to be able to repurpose the content because it's already created. Now I get a lot more from the same piece of content.
Right.
So we're always creating content with that in mind that will create a long form, knowing I'll get the shorts out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of a mentality.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's kind of our mindset for video, less editing.
Yeah, agents could use that when they do like a walkthrough of a neighborhood or they walk through their listing, right? And then they'll chop it up into pieces. That's great.
Tim's asking about digitally enhance. I don't think it's got a ton of digital enhancements. At least not that I've touched in that platform yet. I'll double check on that for you. I'll have Jen look at it in the background while we're doing this.
Cool. All right, my favorite tool probably of them all is Manus.im. And it's really, what is it? Well, it's a powerful agent tool. And what is agent? Well, agent means you're going to be giving the agent a big task, multi-step task that requires a lot of step-by-step that you want someone else to figure out. And that's what the AI agents do. Now, I'm going to show you about 5 or 6 different use cases for Manus that have been totally game changing for me as a real estate agent. And I'm going to show you now. Now, we're going to give you free credits to this 500 as well. At the end, we'll share this with you or we'll email it to you. Now, there's use cases, getting up to speed on a neighborhood. And so what I did was a friend asked me they want to sell their home in this neighborhood, and I didn't really know a lot about their neighborhood. So I just had it look up and give me a summary of everything in the neighborhood from blog posts and things. Now, it analyzed the school, it gave me demographic information, it included all the local subdivisions, but you could do all this by searching on Google, of course, but I took it a step further and I just wanted Manus to go find every single thing for me and put it all into a summary for me and have me learn it all on my own. Now, that's a great one. Another one is contract paperwork handling, right? Contract and paperwork handling, like transaction management types of
Mhm.
stuff. So upload a contract and summarize it because you need the key dates. When are the inspections scheduled to be removed? When is the disclosure scheduled to be removed? When is closing? And then create a one pager. And this is what I said: summarize the offer, create a one pager for me with all the key terms, separate all the documents into separate files, into individual files, because they give it to you in all one gigantic PDF sometimes. Double check the initials and the signatures and summarize this for me, right? Because that's what you do as an agent. You get it and you sort of read the thing and you summarize it and you check the terms and then you separate the documents, unless you hire someone, and you double check to make sure everything is initialed and signed.
Yep,
It's doing my job in a way. Of course, you double check it to make sure it doesn't mess up,
of
but
course.
it's been incredible. So this is what it did. Here's your comprehensive package, and it gave me a one pager, gave me all the documents, 19-page offer document, and it broke them up for me into these disclosures. Disclosure regarding agency relationship, CCPA advisory, purchase agreement, 10 pages, buyer's investigation advisory, contingency removal, contingency-free offer advisory. Before, you have to hire someone to do this, right?
Yeah.
And and then market conditions advisory. And then it said signature and initial review. Buyer, both trustees, these are the trustees, signed all forms and initialed each page of the purchase agreement. The seller, there were no seller initials or signatures on the purchase agreement or the contingency removal. And the acceptance section is blank. So the offer is not yet accepted. Well, of course, I just got the offer,
Hmm.
right? But I was testing it to see. And it
Yep.
saw, hey, the seller hasn't signed this yet, right? I'm like, good, you're on top of it. Contingency removal. The buyer removed nearly every contingency, right? And it knew that it didn't remove all of them. It removed almost all of them. And then you need the seller has it initial this for acknowledging it. I was blown away. I did this several months ago, right? And I use Manus for all of this stuff now, right? What else can it do?
What's the way to get to Manus? Is it Manus dot?
I am, but I'm going to give you a link so that you get
Okay. Yep.
500 free credits,
Yep.
an additional 500 free credits.
Yep. Okay.
All right, so this is what it looks like. This is the thing it gave me. Offer summary, offer date, purchase price, offer price, deposit, first loan, cash down deposit, close of escrow, offer expiration, seller credit to buyer, buyer's costs, purchase agreement. All this stuff's incredible.
Yep.
Yep.
So, question from Paul came in. Do you see any security concerns with uploading a confidential offer to this type of databasing or this kind
Not
of thing?
really, because there's no like personal information in here, like your social security number, right? Like how like this kind of information is not going public. It's only confidential in the sense that you don't want another, maybe an agent seeing it, maybe you want the neighbors to know that you're selling the home. I mean, the neighbors know you're selling the home, but
Right.
maybe like the buyers, they don't want other people to know that you're buying a home.
Yeah, so it's
So
not like mortgage docs where you're sharing
yeah, it's
conf
not like mortgage docs, right? So you got to be judicious. Obviously, you're giving it to somebody, right? So you want to be careful. You don't want to like give it your financial information and then maybe a hack and then it all gets exposed. But you really
Sure.
got to think about like, well, what can happen here? Okay, so someone knows that they're making an offer at home. There's nothing in there other than that, and I'm not particularly worried about that. So you got to be judicious about it. All right, let me keep showing some of the other things I use Manus for.
Yep.
That's a good question. I used it to do tenant screening. So, summarizing applications, evaluating the tenants, strengths and concerns. So I was leasing out a home and we had three quick applications. And I'm like, oh my God, three of them. And AI, is really driving up the rental market in San Francisco. So people are competing. Now, three applications. They were three applications um, of two people each in each. So there's six different credit reports, job reports, landlord reports. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a lot, right? So I gave it to Manus. I said, Manus, why don't you deal with this? I gave it all. I said, hey, I have three folders of applicant information in here,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Um, please evaluate these applications. Now, uh, Paul, this is a security concern that actually is a good point because I did upload some personal information of other people's, right? So it's a good point. I'm going to remember that next time. But I'm not particularly worried. The terms of use, they don't allow them to make use of that information. So I made sure I confirmed that. But having said that, what I did was I said, put it in a spreadsheet for me, right? And summarize it. Application pair one, application pair two, application pair three. And put it all in a spreadsheet for me, and then tell me your recommendation. And it actually recommended, it read their credit report, and it actually told me, I recommend party one. And party two, even though makes a little more income, uh, they had a little ding on their credit report,
Hmm.
right? And I would not recommend party two. So it summarized all this for me, and I double checked it, of course. But this saved me a solid hour and a half of time.
Trying to go through it all. Yeah.
Yeah,
Trying to.
but it was smart. It actually came up with the right criteria, and it evaluated their income to rent ratios, and it
That's
gave me
pretty cool.
recommendations. I'm like, well, a typical income to rent ratio should be no more than four times,
Right.
no less than four. Right? And so it knew
Cool.
like, kind of the standards. And then it said this one makes good money. They're like 10 times. This one is kind of close at 3.5 times. Right? So really, really it did a great job with that. The other thing Manus did was it made me social media videos. So I said, I need videos of San Francisco Bay, Tiburon, no, San Francisco Bay.
Hmm.
And so I could post videos of these areas on my social media. I didn't have videos of these areas. So then what it said, all right, I'm gonna go look up what these homes look like, and then I'm gonna make you a video of what it looks like. I didn't
Yep.
tell it, I didn't give it anything. I just said, make me these videos. And this is one it made for San Francisco.
Which is
That looks just like San Francisco.
100%. Yep. Oh,
And then it made me this one.
with the bridge in the background. That's pretty. Yeah.
This is Tiburon area,
Yep.
Marin, north. And so I didn't want north. I said, no, 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 I got to go south. Right. So it said, all right, let me go look. And I gave it specific towns.
Okay.
So this is one in Atherton. And it said, I make you one of Atherton. This is what an Atherton home looks like. Right. And then it made me one of Hillsborough, which is another home, which is a lot of trees and a lot of hills.
Yep. So
But
really good for social content that you're posting or some
yeah, but
captions
San
over the
Mateo,
top.
but it read my mind. It researched it first and looked to see what types of homes are there. And
Yeah.
it made the video based on that home, right? So it just saves you so many steps,
Yep.
right? You don't have to describe the home, you don't have to share links. It knows to go figure that out. It's like a smart VA,
Yeah.
really smart.
Bruce has a question or hand up, I should say. Bruce, you want to ask it live or just see your hand up?
Yeah, unmute him.
He's got, can he, I can ask him. There he goes. I think I have to control it. Yeah. Can you chat at all, Bruce? Don't know where he went.
There
I
he is.
hit that by accident.
Oh, there you go. Oh, it was by
Oh,
accident.
yeah, yeah, got it. And
It's
of
like
course,
I got butt dialed on Zoom.
yeah. Other than that, comps, running comps, really easy, really good. The other day, I was running comps on rentals and sales. I had to calculate cap rates,
Mm-hmm.
something.
Investments.
And calculating cap rates is not, it's easy, straightforward, but it's a lot of work.
Yep.
Because you have to go look for rental comps and calculate the NOI, right? Calculate all of that stuff. So I just said, hey, this $5 million home or $3 million home, whatever it was, um, calculate the cap rate for me of it. And then what it did was, it showed it found the rents itself, right?
Now find like almost did its own comps on
It did
rentals.
its own comps on the rentals,
Yep.
and then it calculated the cap rate based on the loan amount. Then it made an estimate, the HOAs and the insurance, and it told me straight up, like, hey, the cap rate on this property is not good. It's 1 to 2%. And then it also said, and I also said, well, can I Airbnb it? Right. And I know in San Francisco you can't Airbnb unless it's your personal home. I
Right.
wanted to test. Right. So it said, well, you actually, San Francisco limits unhosted Airbnb rentals to 90 days per year for primary. So in other words, you could rent your own home out, but you can't
Yep.
buy an investment property and Airbnb it out.
And Airbnb.
Yeah.
Right.
And I forgot about that law. I was just like, I know there's some restriction in San Francisco. What is it? But I just tested it to see if it would figure it out for me.
And it knew it. Yeah.
And then it calculated annual Airbnb. It said, no, your cash flow and Airbnb is low. And I double checked all this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Your
Yeah, 'cause
option,
you have to, no
yeah,
matter how much data, you got to double check
you
anyway.
always got to double check it all. But
100%.
and it said for investment properties, Airbnb is illegal. It must be your primary resident. And then I made on like, oh yeah, thank you, I forgot. And I looked it up, and it was totally saved me so much time,
Yep.
so much time.
Cool.
I mean, incredible. This is all straight out of the
Manus.
box without any extra training. There's so many other tasks that Manus does, but I'm going to pause for now and then get back to it.
Yep. And if you could look at, while I'm going to the next one, read Paul's comment in the chat. Maybe you can answer that when we're done here. My last one is kind of one of my favorites as well. It's all about, leveraging time. So for years, for the last couple of years, people have been hearing about avatars, and some people think an avatar is a cartoon character or some kind of but obviously avatars is like a person, a male or female or certain nationality that you could pick that give it some script and it looks and sounds human, right? But in real estate, it was always about like the business it's my business. I want the avatar to be me. I want to be like I need a Jeff Lobb avatar. So finally, technology's evolved. Whether I use HeyGen, but I know it's done. You could do this in captions and a few others, where this is now called. You can create an AI twin, and an AI twin allows you to pretty much create your own avatar of you. And I can tell you the way I did it, and the way I would do it. You could do it now. Is it in HeyGen, it wants you to read and record a 4-minute video on camera, like me talking like this now. And it's giving me a script, and I'm sure the script is trying to get my lip movement and my hand movement and my eye movement. And I just record a 4-minute video, looking at the camera, doing my thing. When it's done, it then makes an avatar of you, knowing your habits, your voice, and your movements. So in this screenshot here, this is the avatar of me, let's say, in that outfit, in that pink reddish shirt. And now I have an avatar that I could use with any script I want. Now, if I want it to be in a different outfit, AI could try and put different outfits on you, but it makes me look kind of silly right now because it's not really me, it's trying to create me. So all I did was I created another 4-minute video read in, let's say, an outfit like this, in my blue vest. So if I want to create a video now, I could pick, do I want the red shirt Jeff or do I want the blue vest Jeff? Whatever it is. And then you give it a script. And you can change, and for those that have been in AI a little bit, the voices have gotten a lot better. And when I go to select, it automatically selects the voice 11 Labs. 11 Labs is like, to me, the prime voice audio AI. But the only thing I can tweak, is maybe the speed of my voice or the volume of it. And I'll tell you one other thing I did tweak. But I'll tell you right after I'm done. So I picked my avatar. I gave it a script that I want to say. I did it in vertical fashion instead of horizontal because I wanted to use it for, let's say, Instagram or something like that. Now, I'm not sure if there's going to be a buffer or delay in Zoom playing this, but I'll play it for you. But I did this through HeyGen, and I used it on my social. Let's see how it plays this way.
Hey, I want to share with you a simple AI strategy. Many real estate agents use AI to create and enhance their MLS or listing description for their marketing. This is a simple concept many agents do, but I want to take it a few steps further. I call this the 1-2-3 punch. 1, create the listing description as you normally would. 2, when you are happy with the description, then prompt it to use that same description and create 5 Instagram posts for you using hashtags and emojis. Then number 3, prompt it using the same description to create a 60-second video script for you in a casual or conversational tone. Now you are getting 3 times that value and usage out of the same content for almost no extra time. Tell me if you like this 1-2-3 punch concept by commenting below and sharing this with others.
All right, so that was my avatar. That wasn't me.
That's amazing.
That came out pretty good. Now, I will tell you the one thing I've had to tweak, it wasn't in this video, it was in the other avatar video. I was wearing a different outfit. I was trying to give a statistic about the market stats. And I think the statistic was 19,000 agents did this and this and this. And it was written in the caption, it was written as 1900. So it read it as 190000. So in the wording, I had to go type it in like 19,000. So
Yeah.
it said 19,000.
That's really good. That's much better than it used to be.
This is really good. Like
Yeah, I remember using this. Yeah, I mean, this the first time I tried it, it wasn't as good as this. That's for sure.
yeah, it looks like you could see there was delays. This used my hand movements, my gestures. Like maybe, now, does this replace me doing social and video? No. I'm still going to do my iPhone, walking and talking, doing my stuff organically. However, if I wanted to do this, weekly market update or a tip of the week, and I don't want to sit behind my webcam and do it fresh every time, I just pick my avatar in the other outfit, give it the data, listen to it once or twice, make sure it sounds right, hit send, off it goes. It's a regular video.
Yeah, it's really good.
So it's evolving dramatically fast. And imagine this is where it is today. And I say in 6 months to a year, not only better, but I'm going to bet you in 2 years, you're not going to know if anything you see on social or even television, if whatever, is actually a person or an avatar. Like you're not going to know. It's going to be like, who knows?
Right.
So it's evolving very quickly, but to me, a time saver for things that are repetitive, not replacing me being authentic and organic.
Right.
So it's for duplication and replication. So it's one of my favorites for sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I think we're good on time. We're hitting time. Some people have to bounce. I saw that. Anybody else have questions? What I would love to know, and I'm sure you do too, Mark, is was there a favorite one or two of today like you would actually go do? Or did you see a tool that Mark shared maybe that you would use it in a different way? It's always good to get the feedback in the chat, kind of exploring, right?
Are we already done? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, an hour.
Yeah.
Going by.
Yeah.
You got more? You want to share one more?
I got a ton more, but let me give a couple more extra credit.
Yeah, go for it.
ChatGPT is really good at role playing.
Yes.
Bruce was mentioning that, give recommendations on your presentation, but I used it myself once when someone referred me a $2 to $4 million buyer from China. It does not speak English.
Wow.
Now, I could speak Chinese, but it's
Okay.
rusty.
Yeah.
It's rusty. I have not used it to do a transaction in a while. So I said, "Oh my God, pretend you're a Chinese buyer." And I said, can you speak ChatGPT? And I mean, ChatGPT, can you speak Chinese? And of course it can, right? And you could choose the dialect too, right? I want you to be Mandarin from China, not Taiwan, where I learned it, but it's different. So anyway, it's like Australian and English. I mean, it's still English, but there's different dialects. So I had it pretend it was a Chinese buyer from mainland China, and then as I was role playing, I was learning all these words, and I was like, "What is that word that he just said?" And I just realized it was HOA, and
Okay.
then management fee. The HOA fee. I learned what that was too because I've forgotten. And so I was going back and forth and I was speaking and pretending to be ni hao, I'm pretending to be an agent and he was pretending to be, or she was pretending to be the buyer. Amazing. I was like, this is just it's too good, everything it can do. Um, Fixer.ai. This is a great email responder, email triager and responder. So what it does for you is um, I'm going to share my screen with Fixer. It will automatically draft emails for you. So it reads your inbox, right? And it will go through and figure out all of the emails that you need to draft responses to. So these are all my drafts, right? And so let's see. So I asked my VA, hey, did we get a refund for this draft? And
Yeah.
then she said, yeah, I can see it under great. And then it drafted something. Now, this is not exactly what I wanted to say, but the great thing was it was something, it brought up an email that I needed to respond to.
Okay.
And that saved me a ton of time because, as you know, we all get all kinds of junk email, right? And it knows to skip it and it was categorize them to respond, FYI, comment, notification, meeting update. But the great part is it drafts something nice for me. So it knows which one I should respond to. So I got emailed this. I'm the ambassador for Geek Estate Real Estate Networking
Yeah.
group, and
Yep.
it sent me something, and then it drafted me something, and at the very least, it gave me an alert, basically what I needed to read, even if the draft wasn't perfect, right? Sometimes it's really perfect, and sometimes it just needs a quick edit. So anyway, that's that. We have many, many more.
Yep.
Uh,
We could
I'm
do
gonna
a
I'm gonna
two.
share my slides too with the group, and I
Yep.
think you will too, right, Jeff?
I do. Yeah. Some people have been asking that we to share. We'll do a recap of some people asked us, can we recap like the sites and the AI tips and stuff we did? So
Yeah,
we could do a recap for you for everybody on the call. We'll have the recording done for you as well. We'll have obviously our contact information if you want more information.
yeah,
For sure. I'm just responding to people's chats because people do have to bounce. People are like, I got to bounce, but I want to stay. So maybe we'll
yeah.
do part two or next level advanced. We'll
Yeah,
do
we
it.
could do a part two because it's gonna be in 1 month or whenever we decide to do this. They're gonna have many more
Right. I
apps.
think maybe we'll do right after the new year or something. Mark, you and I will come back together.
Yep.
But look, real quick, make sure if you guys want to check out, Mark's co-founder of Highnote, go check out his Highnote product with his AI stuff. For us here, Coach 52, if you're not in Coach 52 and you're a guest today, come check us out. We have a whole AI section being built, as well as all the coaching strategies, goal tracking, business planning for real estate. We shared this outside, but the copy of this will also be on our AI platform. We're looking to help people in the new year evolve, get better. It's not always about AI. It's always about how do I use something to generate more business, make my life easier, create, more time for myself. And that's really the whole purpose of these tools. It's not to create more work. It's got to be to something to simplify it, right? We have a hard enough job selling real estate, doing loans, doing title for who's on this call. Really look at the tools that are going to simplify you and differentiate you and focus on that. right? We'll stick around for a few more questions. A few people chuckling in here in the chat, but thank you guys for joining us. For those that have to leave, Mark and I'll stick around for another 5 minutes, answer some questions. Those that want to answer questions, because I have a few in the chat we didn't get to, but thanks for your time. Mark, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you, Bruce, for that comment. He says, I know it's great. Double your conversion rate. It's true. Yeah.
It's true. And Jason asked, what is the Manta link? Manta?
Manus. So
Manus.
I'll send it to you. We'll send it to you after this. I got to collect everything, but you'll get free credits. There's a bunch of other free things that we give away too. I didn't mention everything, but yeah, you'll see it. And then just stay tuned. Thank you all.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate your comments in the chat. Rich, thank you. Jason, thank you. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll do part two.
All
Henry.
right. Thank you, Jennifer.
Got
Thank
it.
you, guys.
Part two is on our radar. Right after the first of the year, we'll do it. We'll get through holidays.